Hello and welcome to The One Show with Alex Jones.
And Matt Baker.
And tonight we are joined by a Scottish rock goddess.
Yes, her band Texas have sold more than 20 million albums in a career spanning over 2 decades.
Here comes the summer sun. He burns my skin. You make me feel wild. You touch my inner smile. My black-eyed boy, you will find your own space in time.
Wonderful.
Sharleen Spiteri.
Of course. Welcome, Charlie. Welcome.
Thank you. Amazing. Some of that footage there was over sort of 20 years old, and you look exactly the same now as you did then.
Good makeup, yeah.
No, yeah.
Surgery.
I bet it seems like yesterday, though, for you, does it? Or...
Yeah, no, it is. It's weird. I mean, I obviously feel very proud of being able to sit here and say, yeah, it's been, you know, we put our first record out in '89.
Yeah.
And to be doing it that long, you know, especially as a woman in music as well, kind of feels pretty darn good. But, you know, I'm really proud of my band and what we've achieved. And
Absolutely.
But it does seem like yesterday, it really does. I think we still have that sort of hunger and desire to do it. Probably with a bit too much knowledge.
Well, we'll go on to talk about your tour a little bit later on, but have you seen the newspapers recently with your good friend Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin looking for like a super nanny? Have you seen any of this?
No, I haven't
it's
actually.
amazing.
I'm like, all right, I didn't know about this.
Oh, well, they're after this amazing CV.
Yeah, they are. The successful candidate will be fluent in languages, able to play 2 instruments, and good at tennis and sailing, which we thought sounded like Matt until they said, ideally Oxbridge educated.
Yeah. Do you think such a person exists?
Well, I'm more interested in where do people get the information that they sent this CV out? That's what I'd love to know rather than...
It's a good question. It's a good question. But if you are out there and you do have a CV or a photo, then send it in, because you never know, Sharleen might pass on the details. There we are.
Have you ever been a victim of crime, Sharleen?
We were talking about this earlier, and I said normally hear my accent sort of running the opposite direction. But probably think I've probably been involved in a bit of crime myself. One time I had the gas men ring the doorbell and they weren't actually gas men, and I let them in, and you know, they were having a good scout about, and it was weird because I was looking at their shoes thinking there's something really wrong there, and went, yeah, on your bike, and sort of told them to sling their
You were
head.
lucky there then.
I was really lucky, and I did call the police afterwards and say, look, there's these 2 guys walking around, described them and everything, so...
Now then, Sharleen, Texas back on tour again, starting tomorrow night up in Glasgow.
First night, yeah.
Yeah.
Hometown.
Ooh.
No.
And it has been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while, so...
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
6 years since Texas have played. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's kind of very much through the insistence of Ali, our guitarist. I mean, everyone wanted to do it, but I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but Ali, our guitar player, had a brain aneurysm a couple of years back, and as he was recovering, he was a bit like, you know, basically had that whole sort of thing of like, this is what I do, I play guitar, I'm in Texas, and especially as well when he was recovering, I mean, you'd really need to speak to him more about it, but sort of all the old memory was everything that he had. His short-term memory was kind of non-existent at that point, so he couldn't remember things like that were happening there and then. He'd have it for a minute and then it'd go. So all the old memory was really clear, so everything sort of Texas time, because, you know, Ali was in Texas from he was 17 right up, and you know, and still is, but so all that memory was stuck, and he was kind of like, let's get back out on tour.
Is it true that only 2 people have ever recovered from that particular illness?
I think there's 4 people in the world have come out of a grade 5 because he had a grade 5 aneurysm. Yeah.
So how's he feeling then? Looking forward
Still
to
barking mad.
Is he?
He was always barking mad anyway, but no, he's good. I mean, it's great. I mean, we've been in rehearsing, and we've been playing, and it never ever feels, because that's what we do. You know, we've done it for such a long time that as soon as you sort of come back into the room together, the slagging match starts. I mean, he's taking pelters at the moment because there's some very sick jokes kicking about within our rehearsal rooms just now.
And we spoke earlier, you've been going for over 20 years. I mean, you must be more like family by now than a band.
I mean, that's what it is. It's like, you know, you become very protective of each other, and, you know, I guess they are like my brothers, and, yeah, you know, we've shared so much of our lives together. you know, good and bad, and you know, everybody knows everybody else's family. You know, we've been teenagers together, some of us married together, divorced together, had children together. You know, it's like all that sort of thing. So, you know, it's big story, you know.
Well, you were looking away slightly earlier on when you were looking at the footage of yourself. You're going to love this, because we've dug out your first appearance on the BBC.
Really?
Back in 1991. Stand by, Sharleen.
Jesus, can you get a bit more slap on it, please?
I need this now, do I ask too much to be close to you?
Back in the day.
Jeez, oh.
Yeah.
I know, that's we can pull out some serious shows. When people go like that show, we go, oh yeah, we did that. We did that one. We did that one.
Yeah. So you've obviously got all of that feeling coming back again, but it's slightly different because of Mr. Kidd, your daughter now. Are you going to miss her, or is she going to come with you at all? Are you going to kind of...
Sure, I mean, because we're doing some of the dates, I mean, what basically happened was we wanted to kind of... At the moment we're just writing away and doing what we do, and, you know, what we continue to always do. And it's been very much a case of these dates come up, we got offered a few, and then before we know it, people sort of heard that we were out, and then people started asking if we'll do this and we'll do that, and before we knew it, we were between June and the end of August is when we're out. So it's over the summer holidays as well, so I'm sure Misty will be really... She'll be sitting there. She'll not be interested in us. She'll literally be going like that. Who's on? Who else is on the festivals?
Does she think you're cool, or is she a bit embarrassed?
I don't think anybody's kid thinks their parents are cool. They just look at you like you're whatever.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's Lady Gaga or somebody. My daughter doesn't really give a hoot.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, on we go. Here we go with a question that we ask many guests on the One Show. If you could put your life into a nice little box, what sort of things would go into it? Well, we know that you probably put a guitar in, maybe some of the stuff. Have a think about it anyway.
Stuff that might not be able to talk
Have a little think.
Yeah.
Now, you said, Sharleen, that you would actually put paints in your box, like Raymond there.
Yeah, paints and paper and pens, just because for writing songs and drawing and doodling and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah, that's
That'd be
kind of
one the
normal.
things. Yeah.
Matt said shorts and a spanner earlier.
A spanner?
Well, to be fair, it was one of those bike spanners with the extra little nuts on, because my bike was a big thing when I was a kid. But you obviously had quite an arty sort of upbringing then, did you? Or?
Yeah, when I came out of school first, I went to art school, and that's probably like most musicians.
Yeah.
But yeah, did that. But the music thing was a big thing for me when I was growing up. I'd put my old record player in with the old 45s and albums that I had that was handed down to my parents, and then the sort of collection of records that you get when you're grown up.
Yeah. And how old were you when you started playing the guitar? Or?
Well, do you know what? It's really weird because I started playing the guitar just because the guitar was in the house, and my dad played a bit of guitar just for pleasure, you know, get it at a party and do an old sing-song.
Yeah.
So then I started messing about on the guitar, and that was really how I learned to play guitar, self-taught. But I remember sitting on the window ledge in my bedroom when the first time I saw Breakfast at Tiffany's, trying to work out the chords for Moon River, just because I wanted to be Audrey Hepburn, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, who didn't?
You know, and then you get your mother screaming, "Get in for that window. You'll break your neck."
So you
that
fall,
takes the romance out of it instantly.
Slightly.
So yeah, that was it. And then I thought I was in the Clash. I thought it was Joe Strummer, and it was all that sort of
That's
thing.
the way, though, isn't it? You've got to. Brilliant.
Oh, nice one. That's all for tonight. Thanks so much, Sharleen. Good luck with the tour. It kicks off, of course, in Glasgow at Barrowlands tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Alex and Chris Evans will be joined by all-round entertainer Michael Ball.
We'll see you at 7. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye.